Well, joining me now are Abhi Jitendra, who's Principal Policy Manager on Energy at Citizens Advice, and also Joe Alsop, who is the founder of the Heating Hub and also used to own a heating company. Abhi and Joe, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm going to try to bring in some of our viewers' questions, if I may, as well. Obviously, people continue to have lots of questions as they try to navigate their way through this cost of living crisis. But Abhi, first of all, in general terms, what's your advice to people today as they know that from midnight energy bills are going to be going up again? Are there any key things they should be doing today?
So I think the first thing I'd say is have a look at your bill. Your energy company should have got in touch with you to tell you that costs are going up. Make sure that the energy rebate is on there. And if you can, try and give a meter reading today or in the next few days to make sure that your bills are accurate. And if you look at your bill and you think there is just no way that I'm going to be able to pay this, do get in touch with your energy company because they can offer you support. And finally, I'd say if that doesn't work, then do get in touch with Citizens Advice because we can give you the support you need.
Joe, I know from our previous conversations here on the BBC News channel, you're all about giving advice to people on how they can use their energy more efficiently, how they can absolutely maximise the heating in their home if they can afford to turn it on, because we know that many people simply are saying they can't afford to do that. What's your advice today with people facing the prospect of energy bills going up?
There's a few different ways that households can minimise their energy bills and still retain some level of comfort. So if there's quite often a debate around whether households should have their heating on just for a few hours while they occupy the house, or whether they should leave it on at a low level. And actually, there's some test results that are coming out probably later in the year that show that just having your heating on for the hours that you occupy the home uses less gas. So that would be the first tip. I think turning down TRVs, I mean, we hear that a lot. If you've got
TRV, explain that for us.
Thermostatic radiator valves. If you've got thermostatic radiator valves on your radiators, they'll have numbers 1 to 6. So number 2 will be about 15 degrees. Number 3 will be about 20 degrees. So just turning down your TRVs in little used rooms, but you have to remember to also shut the door. So if you don't use certain bedrooms, you can turn it down, turn it off, but shut the door because warm air will still transfer to cold spaces, and you'll end up indirectly heating those rooms. If you've got a hot water cylinder, you can just try and time it for the time that you use it the most. So if you have showers in the morning, have it come on once a day for those showers, and then try and leave it and just try and use very little hot water. So just have a quick shower and then don't let it come on for another 24 hours. It'll lose about 5 to 7 degrees over the course of a 12-hour period. So you should be able to make that last. And obviously make sure the cylinder is well insulated. If you have a combi boiler, so households with a boiler that was fitted in the last 17 years, and it works without a hot water cylinder, and you can turn the flow temperature down on the heating, and we've talked about that quite a lot, and there are lots more specific guidance on our website, but essentially you are turning down the temperature of the water that goes out to the radiators, and that helps the boiler work much more efficiently. And tests have found that saves around 6 to 8%. And anecdotally, we've had people coming through our business that and through our social media sites that have reported saving much more. So these are really small free things that you can do.
Okay. Abhi, back to you. We've had this question from Schumann175 on Twitter, who says, not sure what this cap is. My energy bill will increase to £448 from October. I'm with British Gas, but in credit. So in terms of explaining what this cap is, why don't you have a go? Because we've had lots of explanations of what exactly it is. But it's really important to remind people that this is just a cap. If you use more energy, then your bill will go up.
So you're absolutely right. So the more energy you use, the more your bill will be, because this is a cap on the unit price of energy, not an overall cap, as the Prime Minister said yesterday. And it's really important to remember that, because people shouldn't be using more than they need, because obviously that will be very expensive for them. That £400 bill, obviously, I don't know the specific details of that household's usage, but my understanding would be that because usage goes up in winter, and the actual cost of energy is actually going up around twice what it was last year, that the cost is going up. Again, I'd say if that customer is looking at their bill and thinks it just doesn't reflect their usage, or there's something wrong, do get in touch with British Gas and speak to them, and you can query the bill. And if you can't afford it, you might be able to negotiate to a payment plan that is more affordable for you.
This one is from David Finnan, and Joe, it's a similar theme. People think they won't be paying more than £2,500 for their gas and electricity. This is wrong. Can you please explain? It's just a cap on the unit price. If you use more, you pay more. People don't understand, says David. And I think it does bear repetition, doesn't it, Joe, that you know, this isn't a limit on a bill. Your bill could be much higher than that.
Yes, absolutely. So we've had lots of queries about this, and people do genuinely think that they won't pay any more than £2,500 this winter. But as you say, it's an average cost. So that actually relates to an average home that would use 12,000 kilowatt hours of gas and about 3,000 kilowatt hours of electricity, and plus standing charges. That would mean that they would pay around £2,500. But for a larger home, or a draftier home or an older home where they have a higher energy use, they're perhaps using 17,000 kilowatt hours of gas and 4,000 kilowatt hours of electricity, say. So they're actually going to pay around £3,400 for their energy. So yeah, the messaging has to really be reinforced, as you say, to get that across.
OK, well, Joe Alsop, founder of the Heating Hub, and Abhi Jitendra from Citizens Advice, thank you both very much for your advice answering those questions.